I had to head down out of the unit here because the fire alarm was going off and there were actual firefighters in the building. Didn't feel like it was appropriate to stay and keep streaming, though I was tempted to. We were in a really good position in Game 2 against a Niv Magus Elemental Red Prowess deck. We're going to be hopping on into match number 4 here. I might do this deck again tomorrow at some point, just to try to get a nice clean 5-match league with it. So we got to get 2 wins here to get our burrito money. This is turn 1 Emry and in theory a backup Emry on turn 2, so we're going to keep it. Excuse me. And Roy the Boy Passarathanathan should be joining us at some point along the way. Opponent mulligans to 4, which is terrifying always. So, might be Dredge, might be Infect. Something horrifying for sure. I do have a backup EE here, so I'm going to fire this one off on 0, get the Emry going, and let's just see if we can lock out this game quickly. Sort of see if this can make up for the fact that... Alright, they just wanted to see what deck we were on. Got it. Okay, so we can't make any sideboarding decisions here. Against the general field, I think pretty happy with our main deck, so let's see if my opponent can have a playable hand in game 2. Yeah, one of the things that has definitely been tricky for me to learn how to do with these decks and sequencing is tricky about these decks and sequencing is how to properly play with Mystic Sanctuary. I was just reading Eli Cassis's article about the blue-black Urza Sword deck that he he won the SEG with just this week. And in his deck, he has to prioritize holding on to Baubles a little bit because he's not playing Emry. And Baubles are super useful when you get to turn 4, you start putting cards on top of your deck with Mystic Sanctuary, and you want to draw them before you have to wait for a draw step. So definitely one of the parts of this deck that is complex. I'm still getting a handle on it. I've been playing these decks for getting close to 2 weeks now, so starting to get a handle on it. Just like Niv Mizzet, there are layers and layers and layers to learning the sort of ins and outs of decks like this. Had a tough beat earlier today against Amulet Titan, where they turned 3 Titan to me through my Damping Sphere. So that was pretty incredible to see. One of the things that this list is missing is something like Galvanic Blast, Fatal Push, or a discard spell. Anything that sort of proactively, some kind of proactive interaction. This deck does have 2 Tormod scripts. So my opponent's mulligan to 6. Again, I'm going to hit the mulligan because this is just a bit slow. This is a lot better. We're going to bottom... What am I bottoming here? This is a bit of a tricky one. I think I'm bottoming Metallic Rebuke, which is a little unfortunate, but... Leyline. Shoot! Well, kept the wrong hand to be against that. Just means we're incentivized to play it a little slower and not play into the Emry angle of things. It is in fact a Dredge. So could have kept that opener with 2 Tormod scripts. I think that's what incentivized the scoop from my opponent so quickly last time. Because I drew the snow-covered island, I am going to get the breeding pool here. Play the goose. Would have been really good to have Rebuke up here for Cathartic Reunion, but looks like they missed a land drop, so they are going to be able to dredge once. So they discard Thug, then they dredge off the draw. They can still Shriekhorn. Hopefully they don't hit a second Narcomoeba. They did not. They do have another land. They do not have the Haggle. Cool. Play Snow-Covered Island. We're going to play Mox Amber. I can play Emry here. I will choose to. This could be a little punishing. We'll see what happens. What gets exiled here? Boom, 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 boom. 2 Urzas. That could have gone better. And made a misplay, tapped the wrong land to play Emry, so I can't play my Arcum's Astrolabe this turn. So we are passing the turn and letting my opponent start doing some dredging, perhaps. They need to find another way to discard their Golgari Thug. That's the name of that card. Shriekhorn, sure. Bloodghast. Bloodghast is going to allow them, if they have a land, it's going to allow them to get back their prized amalgam. There it is. Thug. Casting the Thug. Yeah, that's fine. So we can chump block the Thug with Goose. We can also chump block the Narcomoeba with Goose. Be able to bounce the prized amalgam at some point too. Could be a viable line. Bauble. Gonna bauble them now. Just looking to Cathartic Reunion. Cool. So I'm not gonna be able to cast that. The reason I proactively baubled them there... Oh, they fired off the Bloodstained Mire. Well, that is good because now they do not have a fetch with which to get back their Bloodghast. Yeah. That is a dredge creature. I don't want to kill it. So we'll let that resolve. I think I'm incentivized to trade Emry early here for the Bloodghast. They already made their... They did not make a land drop for this turn, but... Yeah, there's a good chance they just don't have another one. Make food. If I draw an Urza, I want a lot of mana. Hey, it's Cryptic. Okay, that's pretty good. Not able to utilize a Mystic Sanctuary in any particular way, so we're just going to do this. Merchant. We will rebuke. We're going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 here? Oh, okay. Still taking 5 here. At 8. Just going to keep stockpiling food for now. Ice-Fang is a pretty good draw. It means I get to sack food this turn, plus kill their prized amalgam. Still being careful not to put any of their dredgers in the bin. If they bring back a prized, or not a prized, a Bloodghast, I can sack a food to get my life total above 10, which I'm going to do here. And here comes the Bloodghast, but it does not have haste. Attack in. Bloodghast came in, so that means they don't have the ability to bring back their prized amalgam right now. So we're going to do that. Mo mana is Mo fine. Can also, optionally, I can block the Golgari Thug here, but that's fine. So we'll take 2. Another Bauble's okay. Just looking to get it deeper and deeper in our deck. Ancient Grudge. Okay. What is the value of Ancient Grudge against me? How good is that? Is it good at all? Not right now, it's not. Eventually, I guess I could kill a Construct with it. This is a pretty medium draw in the face of that Leyline of the Void. But I can bounce their Leyline and then counter it in the future, in theory. We'll see if that line presents itself. Right now, they don't have double black. So I'm wondering if I should take that line now. Since I don't have a fetch land right now, I don't feel great about this, but I think I'm going to do it. Yeah, I should have realized that this was something I could do earlier. I did think about it, but then I didn't tap their team. That was the wrong mode. That was the wrong mode. Should have realized, but I didn't. So I'm going to take 4 here. Oh, it's not too bad. Drawing Emry there is pretty good. EE is okie dokie because those are all 2s. So we'll play Emry. Turns on my Mox Amber. Play EE. And I have the mana to activate. Whoa. This could be Ancient Grudge, sure. Float the mana. So they're just forcing me to use this now. Which means they can get the Bloodghast back on their turn. I'm not super concerned about that. So they put an Arcum back on top, and then they get to dredge, flip that out. Oh, which will trigger the Prized Amalgam. So it's a really good sequence for them in that way. So yep. Double Creeping Chill. Well, we just died. Forgot Creeping Chill was still a thing they play. Okay. So now we know what we're doing going into game 3. So Engineer Explosives is definitely okay. Metallic Rebuke is not super great. Alright, let's try this setup. Hopefully this will get us there. So this is not a turn 1 Emry. Doesn't have any graveyard hate. It's got turn 2 Emry into Ice-Fang Coatl. Against their best draws, this is not good enough, but I'm going to keep it here. It's a decent 7. Try not to push it. So we get to go tap land, Bauble, pass the turn. Maybe I should be mulling more aggressively for Crypt, but it's a stable hand that I can play. Sure. No Crypt. Hit an EE though. There's no point in looking at the top of their library. Basically not going to be any point in looking at the top of my library. So this means they're going to get to dredge 5 and then mill 2. 2 prized amalgams, but no creature that's coming back. Shoot. They're going to have the cathartic too. Yep. 1 creeping chill, sure. And there's an Arcum, so it's all coming back. Good. Oh, I forgot how powerful Cathartic Reunion is with having dredge creatures already in there. Yeah, so this is like 10 power and toughness already, I believe. So we're just gonna bauble them. Copperline Gorge, sure. I think it's actually 8. And they can bring back this Ox of Agonis next turn if they want. Which obviously they're not going to want to, too early. Play an Astrolabe here. Yeah. Bring back the Bauble. Gonna be able to Ice-Fang to kill one of the prized amalgams here, so. But they have like infinite gas in their bin right now, so. No hits there. So that's something, but then they dredge. No hits again, although I think they've got 2 Bloodghasts. Our life total should stay above 10 this turn, though. They're going to have another Cathartic? I think so. Casting Ox of Agonis. Yep. Discards their hand. Now they can dredge on each of the 3 draws. This is going to put their library incredibly low. But it does mean basically their entire deck is coming out right now. Pretty sure they can also make a land drop still. They didn't hit enough creeping chills to put me to 10, which means that they did not have the ability to put Bloodghast into play to house me there. The top part of the deck. It's not going to matter. So prize amalgam. So they're down to 6 cards in their deck. So the question is, can I stay alive? So if I block the Ox this turn, I take 3, 4, 5. Okay, so think I have to Ashiok. Then I can Cryptic next turn. So they're down to 2 cards in their library. So if I survive this turn, I can deck them. So it looks like it's possible I just got the win. We'll see. No, they have to. So they have to attack my Ashiok here. But then I'll be able to Cryptic to fog them next turn, and then I believe I'll win the game. So they went a little crazy on the dredging, and it might lead to disaster. So all attacking Ashiok, so I can't possibly save Ashiok, so I will let Ashiok die here. Yeah, they have 1 card in their library, and they're going to go to 0, and then I would like to know what the last card in your library is. What is it? Of all the things it could be, what would it be? Cathartic Reunion. So they really want to die. They can do so. So begin combat. Cool. Tap all creatures your opponents control, draw a card. So it looks like we kind of stole the win from Dredge. They had a real rough game 1. They denied us any information. They just scooped quickly. We were able to get through this one by decking them. So that was a kind of neat way to win. So let's see if we can get that burrito. It's one of the quicker wins that I've ever gotten with this deck. So I have access to turn 1 Metallic Rebuke here. It's pretty exposed. It's pretty open information, but I'm going to keep it. Seems like a reasonably powerful hand anyway. Not powerful so much as it is reasonable. Thoughtseize or Inquisition. Thoughtseize. So it looks like a blue-black Urza variant, or perhaps Death Shadow. Takes the Urza. That's a bit aggressive. Cool. So we're going to shock this. This. So no surprise value in holding on to the Metallic Rebuke, so we're just going to play out and have it ready to go. Unfortunately, in order to play the Metallic Rebuke on turn 1, I would have to shock. So it's for... Oh, it's Death Shadow. Okay, good to know. Is in fact Death Shadow. Shoot. I guess I should have crypted them there. No, because if they play Gurmag Angler, we'll just rebuke it. Okay. Guess we're rebuking that to preserve a tiny shred of information here. Yep. There's your scary boy. That was a bit of a misplay. Hopefully we don't get too punished by it. Should have played the Mystic Sanctuary so I could play the Uro next turn. Not going to get their life total down. They're at 5. Or they're at, 5/5 Death Shadow. I'm going to take the hit here. And a Coligan's Command. Huh. Yeah, that's frustrating. So just hoping to draw an untap land here. I don't need to do this before, so I'll just let this happen. Okay. Play this low use Sanctuary. Gonna nuke their graveyard now, just so they can't also play a Gurmag Angler. Their deck doesn't normally play so many lands, so there's a good chance they'll be choked from this point out. Here's going to be a Thoughtseize Inquisition, of course. That is going to take my Uro. Kind of 6 of one, half a dozen of the other on this, because it does put in my graveyard where I will be able to awaken it if I get one more card in there. Not awaken, escape. Escape. So going 8 here. Ha! Alright, come on. Thought Scour. Yep. This means if they have a Gurmangler in hand, they're going to be able to cast it this turn. If they draw a fetch land, they can kill me. They did not. They bolt. Oh, Team of Battle Rage. Got it. Yep. So we're dead. Okay. Moving on to game 2. Alright. So, Veil of Summer, definitely good here. Mystical Dispute is okay. Dismember is also okay. We've got the Crypts for Graveyard, so that's good enough already. Ice-Fang is good for Death Shadow, so take out a Cryptic or 2 Rebuke. Let's try Emry. All this interaction's pretty good. Uro. Started trimming around the edges here because a lot of these things are sort of medium power. Yeah, I don't really know how to sideboard for this matchup at all with this deck. It's definitely going to be a tricky one. Engineered Explosive seems a plus. Mystical Dispute's actually probably not all that good. Metallic Rebuke is probably better because most of their threats are not blue. Let's try it this way. So this does not have a usable turn 1 land, so we're going to ship that. Also doesn't have a usable turn 1 land, but we're going to keep this one. Gonna bottom Cryptic because there's a good number of green sources in the deck. Super, super unfortunate to have both Mystic Sanctuaries in the opening draw here. I meant to play out the Crypt and I didn't do it. It's okay, somehow we didn't get punished for it. Holding out for a green source. Any thoughts, Scour? Yeah, so it looks like they're setting up for turn 2 Angler here, which will be great. We're going to let him have it with this double Dismember hand. It's more than a little unfortunate, but good. Good, 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 good. Yep. It's going to be a rough one. Going to be a rough one. Okay, so it looks like they're kind of just playing a control game plan this game. Don't really know what that means. This is the kind of game where we want to hold on to this until opponent's upkeep. Once again, because we don't want the card that we draw to get Thoughtseized by their endless Thoughtseize effects. A shock here. Put in a 3/3 Death Shadow? Sure. I am tempted to try to dismember this. The chance of them having a live counter for this is reasonably high. We're going to fire it off and see what happens. Again, here to learn. Let's see what happens. They can't drown this right now. And they can't stub it right now. They need to be able to lose life in order to be able to do that. So might have gotten away with this one. Let's see what happens. I don't think their blue count is high enough to play Force of Negation, and it's also their turn, so they can't pitch for it, but they would be able to hardcast it if they have it in hand. Might have a Kolaghan's Command to rebuy this. Nope, you got away with it. Okay, give me a land. That is either or both of what we needed, so I'll take it. Let's play this Astrolabe. They can drown that. They did not. Play this Gilded Goose. They can drown that. They may not. Goose number 1 is down. Goose 1 is down. Got your green goose here coming on in. It's a green creature with flying. It is, repeat, a green creature with flying. It's not flying in the art, it's kind of hovering, but it's going to be K-Com. Now, are you going to try to make me discard, or are you going to try to rebuy one of your threats? Because if you rebuy your threat, I guarantee you I'm going to remember that I have a Tormod Crypt. So they'll get half the value on this. They'll get a 1-for-1. No, they'll get a 2-for-1 because I blew my Crypt on it. But I'll take it. This is as good as it gets for now. It's like the threat light nature of their deck is currently working its magic. What do you got? Sure, you can run that. Just play him again next turn, you know? Whatever. I don't even care. I don't even care. He's coming back next turn anyway. It's bigger than your Germanglers. He's a chunky boy. Fatal Push, please. Dismember. Dismember that is incredibly aggressive. I wonder if they have another Death Shadow in hand. They want it to be a 7/7. Maybe they were hoping they were going to draw it. This does mean I get to leave Tormod's Crypt or Dismember in my bin here. I think at this point of the game, I'm going to leave the... Sorry, I knew what I was going to leave a second ago. So I can put the Dismember back on top right now. They have 2 major threats in their deck. Oh, no, I can't Sanctuary anyway. Doesn't matter. Never mind. Okay, so we're just going to play this Uro. Doesn't matter what I exile, so not going to worry about it. No, wait. No, I'm going to exile my Dismembers for now. No, I'm going to keep a Dismember in there in case I draw a Cryptic Command, and for some reason I want to do a sequence that allows me to get this back out. They can't drown this because I just removed all the cards from my bin. Okay, that doesn't... You, friend, you, not... Okay, but that's not gonna... You can't, this does mean we're not going to play Astrolabe this turn, but that's fine. Hopefully we draw a land here. Put a land onto the battlefield. No, but I would like to celebrate the drawing of this sick Metallic Rebuke. That is just the most A+ of draws right there. Because we can cast it off of our foods that hung out after each goose that we played earlier. Hopefully they do something crazy like tap out for a Germangler, and we get to blow them out on that. That's best case scenario for us. Uro has definitely been kind of one of the all-stars of this deck. It is a low land count, but the recursive aspect of Uro, it was one of those things where I wish that we had more of a reason to discard it sometimes, because there are times where he's just kind of in your early draws and you can't really utilize it that much, and it just sort of feels like a mulligan. And Urza kind of feels the same way too, a lot of the early game. For Gilded Goose as your only acceleration is just doesn't feel like enough a lot of the time. Didn't draw land, so I can't do that. Curious as to why they fetched there. What is going on, opponent? Okay, you're gonna block, sure. Okay. Well, we made it to post-combat, so I guess it doesn't matter. Draw. Cool. EE is a good draw against Death Shadow at most points of the game. And we are at most points of the game, so it's a good draw. Snow-covered island. Didn't make a land drop yet, so we'll do that. What do you got? Snapcaster Mage. So let's them get Kolaghan's Command, which we will then counter. Sure. Dismember. Okay, you can go to 1. Oh no, they can actually cast that. It's fine though. Yeah, this means I can crack a food at end of turn. I'm also able to play Ice-Fang Coatl. Uro just being his housey old self here. Just lumbering on in. This means we have a decent chance of going to game 3. What is this? Kermag Angler only exiling 2 cards, if I had to guess. Yeah, okay, cool. Sure, so they can group block, lose both to kill my Uro. Okay. Cryptic? Well, that just means I win the game now. Tap your team, draw a card. Swing for the fences. Okay, so sideboarding for game 3. So Mystical Dispute hits Drown in the Loch, but as that game sort of highlighted, not much else. No, pretty happy with how I sideboarded. Maybe another Uro could come in. The Dismembers were A++++ there, but maybe the third Uro should be in here. My opponent goofed in a couple of spots where otherwise they would have been in a really good place. Veil of Summer being defensive feels a little like it can be really, really, really good, but no, I guess I'm happy with how I sideboarded. Getting Uro flooded is not something I need. I just need to make it into the mid game. So this is not a great hand, but against the Thoughtseize deck, I think I am going to keep it. So with 1 land draw, we're able to play Metallic Rebuke, and Dismember is live as well. If they Thoughtseize, they have quite a few choices to make. So we're going to have 3 draws at a land here if we want them. So Shock Thoughtseize here, or Inquisition. Yep, Thoughtseize. Take what you want. Please don't take my Astrolabe. They might be the greedy thing to do, but I can definitely see the argument for it. Took an Urza. Okay, that feels distinctly wrong to me because we are just miles away from Urza, but who am I? Who am I to tell my opponent how to beat me? Goose is a good draw, yeah. So that means it's turn 2, I get to go Shock, Goose, Hold Up, Dismember, and or Rebuke. They cannot play a Grimangler there, so cool. Made it through turn 2. Being at this point of the game and not feeling like I have a gun held to my head already is basically where you want to be against Death Shadow. They're able to vomit out just a gross amount of power and toughness sometimes with disruptive backup. This is it's kind of like the Delver deck of this format, but instead of beating you down slowly with 3/2s and grindy card advantage, they just disrupt you heavily early and then blow you out with Temur Battle Rage. So I mean, I don't know if that's actually like Delver, but it feels like it is one of the decks in this format that keeps people a little bit honest. Shock, sure. So if they play a Death Shadow here, we can Rebuke it. And if they counter the Rebuke, we'll be able to Dismember on our turn. They can't drown this right now. I don't know how many copies of that they're playing, but it certainly seems to be not doing them a world of good in this game. They can stub this, though. Give me the old stubbity. "10 minutes on clock up on our Death Shadow opponent. That's always fun on a bun. There's the stub. Nope. Can't pay for that thing. You got yourself a Death Shadow there, buddy. Even if they have a Bolt in hand, though, I can Dismember this, so we're just going to fire this off. Cool. Could be cheeky and attack with the Goose there, but it's been a tight match. Well, I say tight match. Game 2 and 3 have felt pretty comfy, so hopefully we see Grimangler here. They can get it down to costing 2, which means they'll also have the mana up for Drown, so if their last 2 cards are Grimangler and Drown, they're in a good spot. Doesn't look like it. Cool. That's still not a land. Do I want to play this Aether Spellbomb? I think I do, because if they don't play anything for me to Rebuke, I will probably just cycle it. Kolaghan's Command, alright. What are you going to Shatter and or Shock? Probably Magoose? See what they prioritize here. Yeah. Definitely not interested in this. Tap this, tap this. What does this mean? Oh, stubborn denial. Hold on. I can pay for it. Mystical Dispute. I can't pay for that. Alright. So, do I pay to... No. No, I'll just save my Aether Spellbomb to bounce their Death Shadow. So they have 1 card right now. Now they have 2. So Death Shadow +1. So, do I let them have another draw? I don't think so. Whew! Alright, we got there. So both sideboard games I drew both Dismembers and they were all live. Good to know. Check. Sure. So cycle the Spellbomb now. Cool. Thank you, deck. Holding out for a hero here. I think my hero's name is Uro, Titan of Nature's Wrath. I haven't seen any street wraiths in these games. It's been a strange one. Please draw an Inquisition. Please cast Inquisition on me. I want you to Inquisition me. Go, have a go at my thoughts. Come on, man. Just have a go. Cool. So this means we get to Urza. We got to play our last Emry. Lurker of the Loch. Cool. What do you got, nerd? Oh, full retail Dismember? Sure. I'm gonna tap 1 in response. This one, because why not? Resolves, sure. Resolves. Play Emry. I'll pass it back. Come on now. Take your turn. Right. So, Emry's milled me, and there's an Aether Spellbomb. So, consistently going to be able to bounce from here on out. And on top of that, literally nothing. Weird. So it's like we're playing Sultai stuff. So hopefully we draw a land, because I want to cast this Uro. But, oh, and also be able to cast Aether Spellbomb. I've successfully ground through a large chunk of this game. We're... Oh, a Brade. Lost my goose. Wait, what? Why would you kill the goose and not the Emry? Jesus. What are you thinking, sir? You cannot hurt a Twinkie. Okay, so this means I get to do all of the above like I wanted. I think. Opponent's gameplay has slowed to an absolute crawl while we make our way to that sweet, sweet burrito. Get that 3-2. Super duper, so Aether Spellbomb. play the Spellbomb. I'm gonna go Kraken in here with my 5/5 and just try to win this game. What do you got there, opponent? So Brade number 2? Sure. Cool. So opponent's on empty. So green, green, blue. Play Udo. Please draw me a land. Land? Land? It's not a land. Oh well. So next turn I get to play out this Uro from my bin. And then theoretically the turn after that we will win the game. Let's do it. Don't get eliminated. Of course, if they kill my Emry, I will not be able to do that, but what are the odds? We got there. Cool. So got the 3/2 with this deck. I am going to try to run it back at some other point to try to get a nice clean video with all 5 matches in one go, but we had a wide range of decks there. We had a really cool win against Dredge. We played against like mono red, what is it, the Weird Prowess deck. So just quite a neat league. I'll try to splice this together on YouTube. And then other than that, I'm going to try out, I believe there was a blue-black deck. Let me grab that to import, and we'll play that when we get back. Thanks for hanging out, everybody, and we'll be back in just a little bit.